Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing just what Sarah Ingham got up to on her weekend of fun recently. This is what she put up on her Instagram, which kind of riled me along with quite a few other people. Somebody asked the question, do you ever think the girls will get a real job, and would you encourage them to? And Sarah replied to this: I would only ever encourage them to follow their dreams, stay determined, and work hard to get whatever it is they want. What is a real job anyway? One where you work for a huge cooperation she's put, for a huge corporation for pennies, barely being able to afford to pay your bills, all for 3 weeks off a year, but you can't go on holidays for that time because money is too tight. Doing that every day of your life until they allow you to retire at 70. This isn't something I would encourage for my children unless they wanted it. We encourage them to dream big, reach goals, and break free from the rat race that is sadly the reality for so many. Right, where the hell do I start with this? Okay, so Sarah is saying that she doesn't agree with people who work in general, people who work a normal job in general, because they don't earn enough money to live, etc. Right? So she encourages her girls to dream big and reach goals. And yeah, you know what would happen if nobody worked in these normal jobs and stuff like that? Life would actually come to a standstill. Who would serve her at Aldi, Lidl, Matalan, B&M's? These companies actually do all need staff, employees. Unfortunately, yes, they are paid on a minimum wage, and it's sad, but it's a reality for so many, and so many can only afford to do that. So the problem here I have is that this confirms to me that Sarah Ingham has been a large part of why her daughter has dropped out of college, so that she can dream big and not work for a corporation because it's pointless. And somebody replied to this and said, so you're basically saying that people don't do YouTube and have a real job can't afford to pay their bills. What about business owners, etc.? I think they can. YouTube isn't the only job that earns good money. I'm so confused by this. And Sarah replied, no, that's not basically what I'm saying. I never mentioned YouTube, and I absolutely would not want my children doing YouTube, despite the money that can be made doing so. Well, Sarah, if you don't want your kids doing YouTube, why are they on YouTube right now? Both your daughters, your eldest daughters, have YouTube channels that they work on quite regularly. Anyway, YouTube and social media is a nasty, cruel world that I wouldn't encourage for my children as a job. Owning your own business is a great idea though. Just because others have normal jobs doesn't mean that as a parent it's all I want for my child. Well, that's that's fine and everything, but what you're saying is that you're not going to encourage them to get a job, basically. Sarah goes on to say, whether you agree or not, thankfully 99.9% of you do, the system is all wrong, and the way children are taught in school that the only way to survive is to go to university and get into thousands of pounds worth of debt for for a job you can barely survive on is wrong. Working 40 plus hours a week, often not happy doing so, and still only just managing to pay the bills. All until the age you can retire, which, let's face it, is the reality for most people. It was for us too before YouTube, and just because the reality for most who didn't see or who weren't taught there was any other way. That doesn't mean it's the only way to navigate through life, or the way I would choose or encourage for my children's future. Not sure why anybody would be confused or take offence to this. We all want what's best for our kids, right? If you could have them do the above, or encourage or teach them other non-traditional ways to become financially free, would you do? Absolutely, teach them that there are a range of options, but any option that you do teach them requires a certain amount of skills and abilities, all of which you're not teaching them, right? They may not need qualifications to become a business owner, for example, but they do need skills and abilities in the field in which they choose to become a business owner. They do need other skills and abilities of some description, and also I would wager that you would need maths as a minimum to run any business. I know lots of business owners may not be brilliant at maths, but the ability to count up the money that you have, don't just rely on Shopify to work out your earnings for the week, for example. But anyway, so the question was, would I encourage them to get a real job? There's no such thing as a real job. If you do something that earns you money to pay for bills, that's a job. But I'm guessing the poster meant a more traditional job. My answer was that I would support anything they wanted to do, but I would encourage them to explore more non-traditional routes, because the way they're taught in school isn't the only way, and actually isn't even the best way in most cases. And I stand by that reply. Okay, do you? Right. So now that we've got through all the fluff there, Sarah is basically saying that she would support anything that they do, but would only encourage non-traditional routes. So if let's say, for example, Isabel wanted to go to college, she would support that, but she would not actually encourage that. So this is overall saying to me that what's happened over the past couple of years has led to Isabel's overall dropping out of college and school. So I'm going to tell you a story, Sarah, of what has happened over the past couple of years, and you tell me if this is even close to the truth, because I personally believe it is. So if we remember a few years ago, you had a very successful YouTube channel in which you pimped out your kids, embarrassed them, and generally, invaded their privacy, which gave a lot of people concern, shall we say. And then there was the piece de resistance, which was Chris doing what he did, and leading to a lot of people calling him various things, right?
Have I ever done anything that could be classed as sexually grooming somebody? No. Hell no.
To go and pick up a heartbroken, sobbing Isabel from school. She just rang me on her lunch break 2 minutes ago. Absolutely heartbroken, crying her eyes out, couldn't even understand what she was saying on the phone. She was just sobbing. Turns out that there's many words I want to use, but I won't. Some boy has been shouting disgusting, and I mean disgusting, things to her about us all, basically.
Have I ever done anything that could be classed as sexually grooming somebody? No. Hell no.
And making her feel really bad, obviously, but I think it makes it worse when you're in school and you're stood on your own and then there's a massive group of teenage boys all laughing at you.
Have I ever done anything that could be classed as sexually grooming somebody? No. Hell no.
She's very resilient to people saying things like that online, and she sees what disgusting stuff are posted online, but
that could be classed as sexually grooming somebody.
Unfortunately, other peers also see these disgusting, absolutely disgusting things that people write online.
That could be classed as sexually grooming somebody.
And it's easy for Isabel to block them from home. It's not so easy when these cretins are shouting them out in the corridor.
Am I a paedophile? No. Hell no.
And all of their friends are laughing and having a big full-on joke about it. And it's awful. It's absolutely awful.
But then we had Sarah, whose views on schooling and education in general were fairly, different to how she sees them now.
There's just I don't want them to it's not that I don't want them to homeschool, and I feel like it makes me sound like I don't want my children at home with me, and it's not that at all. All the girls want to stay at home and homeschool. Chris would prefer for the girls to stay at home and homeschool. Everybody wants to stay at home from the girls and homeschool. And I feel like it would make our life probably a little bit easier in the respect that we'd be more free to travel, and I'm not going to lie and say that we wouldn't, because we would. We would travel more if the girls were homeschooled, because that's our passion, that's what we love to do. And it's not that I don't want to do that, it's just that I feel like there's so many pros to going to school. I feel like you make so many memories at school, and I feel like you've got so many social aspects of being at school. I worry about them keeping up if they were at home, even though we'd still get them tutors. It's just not something I'm set on, and these are all set on the idea, and I'm not set on it. And every time we talk about it,
and then we divert it to, okay, well, we'll talk about it later. We don't have months to think about this, but it's good. We'll divert it to later. So
obviously, as we all know, history tells us that her kids dropped out of school eventually for reasons unknown, but we'll just leave that to all our imaginations. And after dropping out of school, we know that they've kind of regressed a little bit, and a lot in some cases, but even still, Isabel's dreams of getting her GCSEs were still quite fervent. And then, after a year of doing very little, she was still up for doing her GCSEs, and maintained that she was taking 5 GCSEs, which may or may not have actually happened.
So Isabel's done her final IGCSE exam today, and Chris took her. She just walked in, and I was like, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Did you go to your exam in that?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "That top." Why do I do this every time?
Got your hair tied up.
No,
everybody sat behind you will have been like, she's got top on inside out.
I do this every time. I literally all the time.
And then after her GCSEs, she decided, against all odds, obviously, and against the law, to not do any more work at school or college. Yeah, it seems...
That's why I don't like it. That's how they make it out in school, yeah, that's it. You failed, there's no other option for you. That's not the case. You can resit exams. And lots of courses actually in college do, like, side by side.
A few of my friends in college have gone to college, but they're retaking their maths GCSE whilst they're there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You can retake, that's what I meant. You can do, like, side by side GCSEs alongside your courses, so it's not like the be all and end all with GCSEs, especially not the way it's made out to be and the hype. And we've reassured Isabel multiple times over the last few weeks that it doesn't matter to us what grades she gets in the exams that she's taking. It really doesn't matter if she fails them, or if she doesn't get the grade that she wants, or if she gets, I mean, I don't even know what's classed as a grade now. They're not even classed A, B, C, D, are they?
It's 1 to 9.
It's 1 to 9.
Grade 9. So it's, yeah.
But even still, she did have the hopes and dreams that she was going to go to college at the end of the year, and yeah, it was all going to be great.
I will be going to college next year. I'm excited to go to college. If it's going to be like a really weird, like, it's going to be a complete change when I do go to college, in not just like my own life but like family life. It's going to be completely different. Yeah, I'm excited. Everyone's asked like, oh, are you not doing college? Like, what's going on with that? I am going to college. I'm just going next year. I feel like I'm going to do, no, I know I'm going to do sociology, criminology, psychology, and I'm also thinking of taking English as well, because I like English.
And then for some reason unknown to everybody, she decided, it's not the be all and end all education, so I won't be doing that after all.
I have a lot of options that I am considering. College is one of them. There's some other things that I'm considering doing, and I'm honestly just thinking about all those things that I really want to do, where my interests are, what I really, really want to do. So I'm kind of in the middle at the minute of figuring out what I want to do. And I think some good advice to everyone is not always just to follow what everyone else is doing. I feel like when you go through school, everyone's like, right, you have to do this, then you have to do this, then you have to go to university and blah 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 blah. So I don't like
That's how they make it out in school. Yeah, that's it. You failed. There's no other option for you. That's not the case. You can reset exams.
And they kind of sometimes make out, like, I remember a lot of the teachers making out like, if I don't follow this structure, my life is going to be over. I'm out to reassure everyone that your life will not be over if you don't go to, university and stuff like that. And just make sure that you're doing something that you're interested in, and try follow your dreams, and don't do something just because it's what society tells you to do, basically.
And that, Sarah, is the story of how you went from your child with the hopes and dreams at her feet, and you loving the education system, thinking it's brilliant, to a complete and utter disregard for the education system whatsoever. You, in fact, do not agree with the way the system is run, and your views on this have changed completely, like utterly, totally and utterly, based on nothing, because your kids haven't been in the education system. So I'm not quite sure where this change of heart has come from, because you haven't been there at all to suffer or anything at the hands of the system. So, if everybody could comment down below your thoughts on why Sarah has changed her mind and effectively told her child not to pursue anything educationally, that would be great. Until next time, please give this video a massive thumbs up, comment all your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Until next time, have a lovely day, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.